Welcome to day 58 of the series, which means we're now 3 days away from Leadville. And I'm so nervous. 3 more days. Alright, today's going to be a sit and talk to my phone exclusively day. So yesterday I mentioned it, but today I want to talk about my why. And I had some thoughts today about writing stuff down, whether it was a full script or bullet points or what have you. But I thought for it to be like the most personal to me and most organic and authentic, I just kind of want to talk off the top of my head and speak to the 2 people that I'm gonna who are my why for this race, and try to be as clean and require the least amount of editing as possible, because I really don't want to do that tonight. So I'm gonna start off with the whole rationale of a why is that when things get hard, it's really important to have that external why factor that's not around you. Now, you can have hard things that have happened to you in life, whether it's a drug addiction or it's a personal loss of some sort, which is in my case what I'm going to speak to. But there's a variety of things that your why can be stemmed from. It could be a positive thing. It could be like my kids or my wife or my husband. There's very positive messages too, but I find what I need is people who remind me of who I want to be and who present some sort of value in my life, whether it was growing up or now or an active relationship. In my case, my why are 2 people who are since passed away, unfortunately, my grandfather and my really good friend Rylan. So I'll start with my grandfather. He passed away 2 or 3 years now, probably 3 years ago. 2 years ago now. And he had cancer when he was in probably 2010-ish, and it was throat cancer. And for the last 15 years of his life, he wasn't able to consume any solid foods, drank occasional water, but mostly just lived on Ensure Plus, which is a dietary supplement drink that basically replaces solid foods for people in his situation or people who need additional calories outside of the normal diet. But he lived for his last 15 years exclusively on that and coffee. And he had a hard time talking, and I think he was a bit of a hard ass growing up. I think my mom could probably attest to that. But for all of his grandkids, and me in particular, I was at school and university in the same city that he lived in. So I think out of everyone in our family, the last couple of years, I probably saw him the most, other than our grandma. And he was so kind, so patient. He would go out of his way to pick me up from something or drop me off something or just check in. Always willing to offer a ride or offer to help. We would do puzzles together. I would help mow the lawn for him or do some pool activities, mostly maintenance side. But I have really good fond memories with him, just spending time together. Nothing structured or scripted, or no let's go do this today. It's just hey, let's go hang out. And I think because I spent so much time with him, I was one of the few people at the last couple of years of his life that really could understand what he was saying. It was really hard for people who didn't or weren't immersed in his life to understand sometimes what he was saying, just based on the saliva and the way he had to say words based on how his throat and esophagus situation post-surgery was happening. But I think he understood that I knew what he was saying, because I was used to it. So we talk quite often, every week, sometimes multiple times a week. And he fought really hard for 15 years and passed away on his terms, when he was ready, when he wanted to. And I'm going to spend however long it takes, whether it's 19 hours, 20 hours, 25, 29 hours, however long it is, with him in mind, through the positive moments, when I'm feeling a really great runner's high or having a really, a good moment, I'll be thinking about him. And when I'm having a bad moment, I'll kind of draw on his strength and the memories I have with him. So that's number 1, my grandpa. Number 2 is Rylan. Rylan was, still feels weird to say, one of my best friends. I met him in 2021, or maybe it was beginning of 2022, and I actually lived with him for 6-ish months when I was over in Utah prior to starting my engineering job. And he was like the first person, as I was kind of dabbling more into like the Spartan races, OCR, eventually DecaFit and HYROX, who really was like someone I looked up to and someone who I was trying to chase, not necessarily for goals and podiums and times and whatnot and accolades, but more so he lived a very adventurous, very fun life. And again, on his terms, like whenever he wanted to do something, whether it was go to the mountains for a weekend and go camp in his van that he totally created out and go biking for the entire time. Like that was on his terms. He quit his high paying, reliable, sustainable job that he had worked hard to. It was a firefighting based job to pursue coaching, something he loved to do, and full-time training, full-time athletics. And me getting into this space a couple of years ago, that was something that I really admired from him, taking that leap. There's been times throughout this entire training block in the past year or so where I've thought about just leaving my corporate job. I haven't got there yet. It's not something that's super pressing. I have a pretty good work-life balance, but back to Rylan, he lived life on his terms, and unfortunately, for everyone who left behind, died on his terms. So he passed away doing something he loves, paragliding with his wing down a mountain. He hiked up, flew down. It was one of his most favorite hobbies to do. And he was the person that kind of started me on this whole journey of pursuing fitness and testing limits and setting goals and working hard for something, and then ultimately winning or failing, learning from the lessons, learning from the successes and failures, and going to the next thing with more ammunition, more experience, more understanding of what my body can handle and what it needs to get the work done, the job done, the goal completed. And he's something who he's a year older than me, but I look up to still to this day for most things in my life, honestly. Whether it's a conversation with friends, family, perspective on having a hard moment, talking about what my weekend plan looks like and how I can incorporate some sort of outdoor activity into it. He's someone who I really draw strength from because he lives on his terms, and something that I was very it's hard to put in words. It wasn't I was starstruck because we were best friends, but it was more of I had such high appreciation for how he viewed life that it was a big loss when he passed away. So again, same as my pop, I'll use Rylan for high moments, low moments, mediocre moments, just to have a ghost to run with. I often talk about Rylan in the sense I'm chasing his ghost or running with his ghost, because I feel a lot of things that I'm now trying to do, whether it's a HYROX related thing or it's 100 miles or trail running or anything really that involves the sport, it's something that I can do with him, and I can kind of take on that not even a burden, but just take on that role of him being with me and his spirit being able to do it with me. So that's my why. That's who I'll be looking towards beside me the entire time. And high moments, low moments, especially in low moments. And yeah, I think it's important to have these whys established. And again, they can be ranging from whatever makes sense to you. But yeah, Rylan and Pop, I'm with you the whole time, and gonna go have some fun, chase some peaks, and just try to use every moment to appreciate that I'm able to do this, I get to do this, I'm choosing to do this, and my body and mind are capable of doing a thing. So, day 58, 3 days left. That's my why. And for at least 2 more days, Thursday, Friday. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.